What's up, you guys? Today is Friday, the 23rd. So I used to looking at my phone to figure it out, but I keep forgetting that I have it right here on my monitor. Thanks, David. Alright, yeah, it's in big writing right there on my monitor, so it's a lot easier. Alright, we are westbound on US 36 right now in Missouri. Getting ready to make a right turn onto Highway 5 here in a second. Yeah, right where this car's turning, I'm going to be making the same turn. You see on the map there, Kansas City over there on kind of the left side, a little bit lower left, my blue dot where I am currently at. And the red pin location is where we're going to. This truck does not want to, it doesn't seem like it wants to stop as quickly as it should, so I'd have to wonder about brakes being adjusted right. But yeah, this trailer has disc brakes, so not much I can do about adjusting those. Not that I know of, at least. I have to check. I don't know. And I don't normally have that issue with my tractor brakes, but I might have to double check my tractor brakes again. Alright, we're heading northbound on Highway 5 now. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. You see where we're at in relation to Kansas City. We're northeast of Kansas City. The green line that you see down there would be Interstate 70 going to the east between Kansas City and St. Louis. And alright, we're on 5. We're on our way up to Milan, Missouri. The locals call it Milan, as I mentioned in my pickup video for this load. And I told you in that video, I'm not going to call it Milan. That's I don't know why the pronunciation got bastardized from Milan to Milan, but the town was actually named after the city in Italy. I read up on this a while back. I got curious why people called it Milan. I was trying to look for answers on that. So sometimes you can actually get good info on. Actually, my buddy David, he was just in that recent both of my two latest videos. He and I were talking not long ago about Limon, Colorado, and the way it's spelled had us both wondering, why is it pronounced Limon and not Limon? You know, because in Spanish, you know, the name of the town is spelled exactly like the Spanish word for lemon. Limon, and so I was like, well, Spanish speakers call it Limon, and like, why wouldn't it be pronounced that way? Well, then I ended up finding out that that town was actually named after, I think it was James Limon or whatever his name was, and James Limon's name was Lyman. So it's totally it's a totally different derivative of you know, compared to what you would, you know, the way the spelling actually is now, what you would think that it derives from. So yeah, I was seeking answers on that. I couldn't find anything except for that the town was founded by somebody who just liked the city in Italy and named it after the Italian city. So this is one of those mysteries to me, why the locals call it Milan and not Milan. I will never call it Milan. I don't care what locals call it, what they try to tell me it's supposed to be called. That'd be like someone from Louisville trying to tell me, no, it's Louisville. Like, no. Where do you see a U in there? There's no U in there. Or be like someone from Boston trying to tell me how to pronounce the letter R. Sorry, you're not gonna educate me on that. You don't even know how to pronounce the damn letter R properly. Why the hell should I listen to you? Alright, this is humor, guys, to an extent here. Don't get all of it. I'm from Boston. Fuck you. I can see Tara. Well, no, Tara. Yeah, a friend of mine I met through Scotty D. Now, she lives in Massachusetts, as does Tom. Now, one of my friends who is now a trucker as well. But, you know, Tara, she's originally from Southern Cal, so yeah, there's that. But we all know that people up there in that part of the country talk differently. So it's just, I did something with my wife and her, her interest and actually what she's actually studying for and for her doctorate. Just kind of got me interested in it to an extent. Like, curiosity, like, well, what is the history of this? Why did it end up this way? Speaking of my wife, that's what I want the theme of this to be about. Don't know it all. I think we got about 20, maybe 25 miles to go. I don't really expect to be talking the entire time there, so might run some high speed. But let's talk about my wife first, because I have to get past this car here. Just in case you can't read my shirt. If you can't read it, it says, "I'm the best thing my wife found on the internet." Okay, so my wife bought this shirt for me as kind of a joke. She and I both have good sense of humor. We can be pretty sick with our sense of humor, but we love to laugh like anybody. And that's what the idea of the shirt was, to get a laugh out of people or something, and it's. I understand there's some people who might have a stigma about meeting people online, but to me, I don't really give a shit. It's convenient. I can meet people in the traditional way if I want to, but this is the 21st century, and why do it that way if I don't need to? And there's a more convenient way to meet people by meeting them online through dating sites. So. So back in 2013, I got divorced from my first wife, and I had a couple of other girlfriends I dated between my ex-wife and my current wife, Dora. My wife who will stay my wife, by the way. But I had a couple of other women I was involved with after my ex-wife, but it just didn't work out. Well, ended up deciding that I was not even really totally serious about dating either. It's just like nothing. I wasn't really interested in anything really necessarily serious. I didn't know I wanted to really deal with too much of women's shit. Sorry, women. It's good. Take some humor out of this, all right? Women are, you guys complain just as much about us guys, and you can joke about that too. In fact, my wife, Dora, she has I don't know what you call it, a sign thing or whatever, kind of like a decorative sign, whatever you want to call it thing. It's like in a picture frame, hanging in our bedroom on the wall right now to this day. And it says, "I love my husband, but sometimes I just want to square up." That's exactly my point. We love each other, but sometimes we do want to, sometimes I just drive her nuts where she wants to kick my ass or something, or vice versa. But not that we'd ever do that. We don't do that kind of thing. But, there's kind of things that would make each other mad about because of that. Let me zoom in here, by the way, so you guys can see where I'm at in relation. Alright, so anyway, she and I, Dora and I met on a dating site. I don't remember exactly which. I want to say it was Plenty of Fish. I could be wrong, though. It might be Plenty of Fish. I'll just say that's what it was. I know I was pretty sure it was one of the free dating sites, which I believe Plenty of Fish was. And it's interesting how we first met, because I've always kind of been an out of the box thinker, I guess, and I'd come across her profile and was kind of interested, kind of not, I guess I would say. The reason why I was interested is she was obviously an outdoorsy type, You know, she likes to go hiking like I was also into or still am. And, you know, really caught my attention was her main profile picture on that site of her with a big ass tarantula on her hand. You know, like, oh, cool, a pet, let's pet it. Yeah, I don't picture women doing that kind of thing, and it's like, this is interesting. A woman who's actually not afraid of spiders. Oh god, it's like, get her around rodents, so that's a whole nother ballpark. It's an emergency! It's an emergency! There's a big ass rat in our garage! You're calling me with an urgent emergency over a fucking rat. This actually just happened a couple weeks ago, by the way. That's how petrified she is of rodents. But regardless, on to this, staying on this subject here. We met on Plenty of Fish. Actually, she got turned to my profile by her friend Chelsea, who I guess Chelsea came across my profile and thought it would be a good fit for her. So she pointed me out, my profile out to Dora, and Dora ends up contacting me, and we start talking, and I'm like, I can kind of tell by our online interactions that she seemed like she had a nice. I liked her personality, and details in her profile also gave me impressions too that I liked, and so I was like, let's give this a try. So we ended up meeting up at Starbucks, and just to get to know each other. Just wasn't really even taking it super seriously. I was figuring like, just be another one of these not be enough to interest me kind of thing, I guess is what I was thinking it was going to be. But the conversation we had, it was just right away I was drawn to what I perceived as her intelligence and her personality and her sense of humor. It's, she had a great. I love her personality, still do. Her sense of humor, very compatible with mine, and we. I kind of even started talking a little bit about we're going to go into like this diatribe about why we're single now and not married or whatever. Well, actually, in her case, she actually was still legally married, but she was separated from her husband, at least legally speaking. Geographically, not, but she was in a different room than him, and I had gone through a similar situation before my divorce was finalized, and but. You kind of want to know, like, well, what trails have you been down already? And, not like we want to sit there and, go on this whole spiel about how shitty our exes are or whatever. Because, they're good. There are positive things about our exes. And I'll still say good, positive things about my ex-wife to this day. But, you want to know, like, what led you down the path that got you to here. That's all it is. So we started telling each other a little bit about our histories there with our exes and our own personal lives and stuff or whatever, and it's that was one of the other good things I liked about her was that I could tell that she wasn't a spiteful bitch, because that's one of the things that always concerns me about women is if I have even the first inkling that you're going to be spiteful if things turn south. Nope, I'm not having anything to do with you. If you want to do stuff to a person just because you can, or because you'd rather see them unhappy than you get happiness by seeing your other person unhappy, then sorry, I'm not even remotely interested in you. And so that was something I'm always on guard for. I'm like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You move on with your life, I move on with mine, or whatever. Or maybe, I actually have an ex-girlfriend who I'm still friends with to this day, and we first got together over 20 years ago, but we're still friends today. it's just strictly platonic. She had different romantic needs than I did, and that's just the way it was. We're in Purdon now. So, going back to that ex, I was hurt when she broke my heart on that one, but, and I was mad and didn't want to see her happy at first, but then I got over it, and like, you know what, she actually did me a favor. And that's not saying anything bad at all about that girlfriend from back in the early 2000s. She was a great person, as she still is. It's just, we really just did have different needs in terms of romance, and we just were not compatible with each other in that respect. It didn't mean we had to not like each other, or hate each other over it. So, that's how we're still good friends. Or, well, not. We still keep in touch, I would say. And that's what I was looking for. It didn't have to be like wifey material or whatever, but just someone I could trust. Didn't have to be someone I commit to, whatever. But all these little things about my wife, I was like, felt like I knew there was something special about her just from that first impression. And like I said, I was really only expecting to just meet up and then go on about my business and go elsewhere, whatever. But then, just the little things that I caught on to with that meetup there of like, there's actually something a lot more special about this woman than any other woman I've been with. I knew there was something to it. So, we ended up doing. I ended up doing another date, actually. I even kissed her when she was leaving, when I walked her to her SUV and gave her a kiss. I wasn't really expecting to even do, but I was like, there's something, told her there's something special about you. I don't know what it is yet, but I know there is. And, because I wouldn't hesitate to walk away if it just wasn't the right thing. Now, I had learned enough there. I'm not gonna force myself to stay in something that I'm questioning if I'll be happy in. So consider this an ode to my wife. She is the most amazing person I've met, and definitely the best thing I ever found online as well, and I know she feels the same way, and that's why she got me this shirt. Because she is amazing. Like I said, everything about that, what I've already mentioned there, and on top of that, she's got a master's degree in education. And it was funny because she was a school teacher. She's a school teacher in Barstow, California. We live in Victorville now, but at the time she lived in Rialto and I lived in San Jacinto, over in Riverside County. And she said she was at the emergency room because she has bad asthma, and I just figured she was at like Arrowhead Regional Medical Center or San Bernardino Community Hospital or something else over in that area. And then she goes, "No, Barstow." I'm like, "Barstow? What the hell are you doing in Barstow?" And she goes, "Oh, I teach out here." And she was a teacher at Hinckley, in Hinckley. That same Hinckley that was famous for from Aaron Brockovich. But then it turned out Hinckley School was closing down because PG&E was buying up all of the properties over there. PG&E was the one that Aaron Brockovich made infamous. In that case, in that movie with Julia Roberts. But anyway, so she was going to be transferring from there to another school in Barstow Unified School District, and it turned out that same exact school was the same one my sister was teaching at. And then she would commute from Rialto up to Barstow to and from work every day, and like, holy shit, you're going to meet my sister then. You know, and I think this is when we were just barely, I'm not even sure we had even gotten, you know, by more like one date or so by the time I had figured this out. And it's like, what a coincidence. You know, you're going to meet my sister because she teaches at that same school. So it was such an interesting coincidence there. And, you know, they ended up building a really good friendship there as well because of it. I know my family loves her. You know, I know they see how great a heart she has, good heart and hard worker and all that she is. She's dedicated. I can't say enough good about her. And I know she's going to hear this because my son Christian always watches my videos, and a lot of times he watches them right in front of her. So I'm sure she's going to and I get all sappy now. Yes, yes, you are worth it to me, dear. Yeah, you're thinking like, why was another like a Mother's Day thing or something? Because we got kids, but I don't know. Who says it has to be like a Valentine or Mother's Day thing or whatever? This is one of the things about I don't believe in all those bullshit holidays and stuff. A bunch of people were asking or wishing me Happy Father's Day just last week. I'm like, it's just another freaking day. It's you know, I don't really give a shit about those stupid holidays like that. There's 365 days a year you can make a person feel special or do something special for a person who means something to you. Why does it have to be that specific day? You can do it 360 days a year for all I care. I don't care. It doesn't have to be like 364 days you do things a certain way and then all of a sudden that one day, let's do something different. That's extra special just because it's their special day. No, I don't play that way. So that's where, you know, I don't meet the romantic needs of a lot of women, but I'm very romantic in my own ways, though, and Dora will even tell you that. It's just not the ways that your typical woman would or would expect to find. All right, anyway. Yeah, she's going for her doctorate now in EdD, or an EdD degree, whatever. And linguistics is actually her area of focus. Language studies, especially Spanish to English, language learning kind of stuff. But, you know, there's also tying in with this other stuff, like how how paradigms occur between, like, Milan, Missouri being called Milan, Missouri instead. And what led to that? Because I know damn well it was not originally Milan. I mean, not originally Milan. It was pronounced Milan originally, and something caused it to switch to Milan. Just like Spokane, Washington, and I'm going to call it Spokane, not Spokane. And I can tell you more about that, but yeah, I think I already talked about that before. Anyway, I want to keep this on topic with my wife, but that's just what I'm talking about. There's a story to that, why it's pronounced one way but spelled a different way, or spelled a way it should be pronounced differently. What I mean. And, you know, so maybe I'll talk about that in another video. The next one or two videos in or something, I can talk about that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's a very special woman to me. I love her to death. Down in even that next date we did there was even a great story there too. We went hiking up to area called Tuckwood's Peak or Tuckeet's Peak, whatever. I don't even know how they pronounce it. Tuckeet's Peak up above Idlewild, California, in the San Jacinto Mountains. I loved hiking up in that area, and there was a permitted trail up there that we went up. South Ridge Trail was the name of the trail. I ended up going all the way up to Tuckeet's Peak. It's 2,400 foot vertical climb, if I remember correctly, from bottom to top, and over 3 miles from the bottom to the top, if I remember right. And we got to a point where her asthma, because it was getting steeper, a lot of switchbacks up toward the top, and it was starting to affect her with the asthma. she was getting short of breath, and I kept, she didn't think she was going to make it up there. So I kept encouraging her, hey, if you need to take more breaks and catch your breath before you continue, and we have to stop more frequently, so be it. There's nothing saying we have to hurry up and get up there right as quickly as possible. Let's just enjoy ourselves. And it was a thorough enjoyment, because there's this one view you get there, this canyon, almost, when you're getting pretty close to the top, it is just amazing. Even taking pictures of this place, I could not get the same perspective view from the pictures that I took that I got looking at it in person in 3D. I was like, it was just an amazing view in person. But, I kept, hey, let's just get to the next switchback and then stop. Even if we only go like 50 to 100 vertical feet at a time before we stop, and then you take a few minutes to catch your breath, let's just, we'll go ahead and do that. See what you can do. And you know what? She ended up making it all the way up to the top by doing that. And she, it was like a huge feeling of accomplishment for her. And and it was also telling of how our relationship and eventually marriage would be, how well we work with each other on stuff. Okay, I do see a closure of some sort. I don't need to zoom in on that. No, that's not the road I want to be on anyway. This guy is starting to get annoying. Alright. So I think that's enough chatter about my wife, I guess. We're getting, it's not going to be too much longer. We're going to make a turn. We're going to be at a spot where Highway 5 and 6 run concurrently, a short distance, and then we're going to split off on another road. I'm going to go ahead and run high speed until we get to that split, just before that split off. Alright guys, we're going to be making a right turn right here on this this other street. Go ahead and signal early for this armored truck, Highway 5 business route. Make the right turn here. Oh, come on, don't tell me you're turning here too. Son of a bitch. Okay, so there is an alternate route into and out of here as well. You can also stay here on Highway 5/6 and take it up around to the north end of town. You can see on my map where you can come back down that other road that actually has traffic speed data on it. That'll also get you right over, you come straight down, and that'll also run into the same street that I'm going to make my right turn on next, which will be County Road C. County Road C, by the way, if you come in a different way, because I usually take Highway 5 up from Highway 36, but I have done 125 or 129, whatever that highway is, a little further east of 5. Come up that way. It's not as truck friendly, but you can still do it in a truck, but it's for a really good time. Go that way at night and when it's snowing. True story, I had that experience. And I only went that way, I wasn't even planning on going that way originally, but one of my much more experienced trucker friends who's been with JZT a long time and who has a lot more years of driving experience than me, he was coming up here to deliver the same time as me a while back, and he was talking about going that way. So like, okay, well, and he said he was familiar with these roads, so all right, I'll go ahead and go that way. Just But looking at the map, I wasn't getting the impression that that was the way I really wanted to go. I mean, I figured it would work, but like, yeah, I don't know, that's really the way I want to really go, though. I really had my eyes on Highway 5 originally, but yeah, it was an interesting experience, we'll just say. Alright, we're now into Milan. Let's see, we're going to make a right turn really soon here. Now, this is Milan processing that we're coming to. We're going to turn right onto County Road C. You might, on your load info, get an address that's actually up on the north end off Highway 6, if I remember correctly, or some other street on the Highway 6 side of the plant. But you're still going to want to come down here to County Road C and come into it from there. It'll be a cul-de-sac. We're going to go east on Highway C a short distance and then make a left turn. Speaking of, you can park overnight. There's a dirt lot area right before you get into their actual fenced-in area where you can park. All right, we're gonna make, this is the right turn coming up. I see a bunch of drop trailers over here in that dirt lot that I was talking about, and I see our England also sitting there right now. If there's room there, you can park there. But they have a bunch of drop trailers sitting there, so I don't know. I don't know if they keep their gate open still, because it used to be they would close around midnight or so, and then they would close the gate off, close their gate so you couldn't camp out inside their lot. But they might be 24/7 now. I don't know. If they are, you might be able to camp out on their lot anytime as well. But yeah, anywhere over here where you can find a spot, you're welcome to park here. There's a guard shack here, but I don't remember them ever using a guard shack before. I don't see anybody in it either. I've never dealt with anybody in the guard shack, so I'm assuming that there's not. I think that's just something old that they just don't use any. Alright, there's a JCT drop trailer in the dock door right now. Now that's the other thing here. If you drive for JCT, you might find yourself doing a drop and hook here. In fact, I see another JCT over here with its reefer unit turned off, right here. My delivery isn't scheduled until 1600. It's barely just a hair after 1100 now. But I'm going to go ahead and check in right now anyway. Worst case, they'll just tell me you're going to have to wait. Or best case, they'll tell me go ahead and drop your trailer and then take such and such empty with you or something. So I'm hoping that'll be the latter will be the case, because I do have a pre-plan. The earlier I get over there, because I don't want to show up there at night or whatever if I don't need to. Get squared up with this guy. All right, this bobtail driver's coming, but like me first. At least just get squared up. Alright, windows down. Actually, going a little bit too much toward this guy. I hate this damn accelerator. That's why I hate auto shift. I'd rather just be able to feather my clutch and have more fine-tuned control over what the truck does. Yeah, you guys know me. I hate auto shift, and I love driving manual transmission. Same thing, different day. You guys are gonna hear it forever, unless I sometime get back into another manual at some point in time, which would be great. All right, so I'm gonna get checked in. There's another outhouses right here that you can use, and then if you go straight up from where those outhouses are at, the receiving office is right over there. There's just doors. As soon as you walk in, there will be like kind of a makeshift separator, I guess I would call it, between the dock area and where you check in at, or where the drivers stand, whatever, to check in. I think you just ring a bell, or if I remember right, if I remember right, there's a bell or something like that you ring to get their attention. They'll come over and meet you there, right? So that's what we'll be doing next. We'll figure out what's going on next. I don't know if I'm going to dock in next or if I'm going to drop it. So we'll figure it out. Alright guys, we are going to be docking in right away in door 5. Actually this RE Garrison guy just pulled out of it. You see there's ample room to work with here for a straight back setup. I also thought about just setting up sideways like a regular side, but alright, so you're going to slide tandems all the way back. Do not open do not break the seal on your trailer until they come out and verify the seal matches first. Alright, windows down, and yeah, I didn't get quite a good setup there because of the drop trailers, but it's alright. I pointed at the other JCT truck over there right now. Get my tandems out there in front of the spot. Close to the center in front of the spot as much as I can before I start. Now I can see where this guy's tires were at, the tandems were at, so. How's that? Am I overshooting? No, I overshot a little bit, but not by much. I'm still pretty far off to the left, but okay, again, I want tandems out there in front of the center of the spot as early as I can. I'm going to cut it off a little bit more. Don't want to cut it off too early, but I want to have a more shallow angle by the time I'm ready to intercept the center point of the spot, because then it's easier to catch it. Okay, I do still have to open my doors, so I'm going to go ahead and square up here. Looks pretty good there. Alright, yeah. Should be plenty of room there where I can get my doors open like this. Backed in. Get a little bit more over to the left so I can get my right side door away from that yellow post over there. I don't know if my camera can pick that up. With it being mounted to my door and not to the mirror, it's certain there a little bit of a blind spot there for my camera. I know that. Well, the first one was really soft, but it ricocheted still, and the second one was a little bit more abrupt, but not the worst I've ever done. Alright, so another little detail about this place is, this is the old 8012 Alpha here, by the way. I'll figure out, I don't know if I know who that is, but my past experiences here is normally doors 1 and 2 are used for, I think, for outbounds, and then 4 and 5 or whatever, something along that line, are used for inbounds. We have more activity here than what I'm used to seeing here. They've definitely picked up business here since the last few times I've been here, so it's good on them, I guess. Yeah, it is. You will have a little bit more of a not so pleasant smell here because of what they're doing here. It's basically chicken being turned into pet food. It's basically what it is. Alright, I think that should cover that, though. I don't know if that other JCT trailer over there with the reefer off, because they told me it was not, they didn't have any empties available, so they said they'd have to live unload me instead. And I go, alright, no problem. I did not ask about that trailer. I was like, and they told me to go ahead and dock in as soon as that other guy who was there was getting his bills back and leaving. So I said just basically dock in where he docked out, where he's docking out, and they'll unload me. So it doesn't look like I'm not sure I'll be spending a hell of a lot of time here, thankfully. I don't know, we'll see. Could still end up sitting here in front of a dock door forever, who knows. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. But, alright, we'll have some more for you when we're docking out. Alright, you guys, we are done unloading now. It is 14:49 local time. So yeah, it took a little bit of time to get in the dock door. I mean, not in the dock door, but to start unloading. Let me slide my tandems back real quick. Well, not slide them back, but slide them forward. Alright, I believe we are good. Alright, so let's get out of here now. I was thinking about possibly doing a full 10-hour break here, but I'm going to go ahead and go get washed out now. And then head over to my shipper. It's that shipper, I believe, is a drop and hook pickup. The customer name is not familiar to me, but I believe the location is one that I've been that I'm familiar with. We're going to be going to Ameriserve in Edwardsville, Kansas, which is over on the west side of Kansas City. Alright, so yeah, we'll be picking up a load there, and yeah, drop dead time for a pickup there is a little after 2 o'clock in the morning. So maybe I'll get over there and it'll be ready to go before, as soon as I get there. We'll have another video recording, but before I'm even done with this shift. A couple different ways to get out there. You can see on my map here that great, that stupid thing again, that side guard. I always remember, have to remember to, I always turn my lane keep assist off. That's some stupid actuator that likes to help me steer, keep me in the center of the lane, which I don't need. And in that side guard thing, they have that amber, well, it's usually amber triangle light on my passenger side A-pillar. It warns me if somebody's next to my truck, or trailer. Where'd that flag go? And then if I either signal right, but keep going straight, or if I actually start to turn to the right, and it thinks something's over there, it'll start giving me that alert you just heard, and that triangle over there will start flashing red instead. Okay, I really need the help. I got a hood mirror there, and these other mirrors I can use to see what's going on over there. Trust me, if there's something there, I'm going to see it through my mirrors. I don't need that damn side guard shit to know that there's something there. I mean, I guess for a careless driver who doesn't use their mirrors religiously, yeah, I'd probably do them some good. But for me, I really don't need its help. Like I said, I do not make lane changes or turns unless I know for sure what's over there. And that means checking all three of those mirrors regularly. Alright, so you see the red dot there on my map? That's where I'm going to go get washed out. It's at a Triple H Family Truck Wash in Cameron, Missouri. It's right where US 36 and I-35 meet up. That's where I normally go. You can also go right here on the other side of town. There is a washout place right up here on the north side of Milan. I'm not going to call it Milan. Sorry guys, it's Milan. But okay, you can get washed out over there. They have a thing in the shipping receiving office over here at Milan Processing telling about where it's at. Or alternatively, if you're going to the Kansas City area like I am, you can also go to the Blue Beacon. It's off the same exit, off the Front Street exit in Kansas City, off of, what's that, 435 or 470, whatever that interstate is over there. The same exit where the Flying J truck stop is. Right over there by Flying J, there's Blue Beacon. I don't want to go to the Blue Beacon because I'm going to end up sitting there for 2+ hours waiting just to get a damn washout. When I can go to Triple H and probably not have a wait at all. And at Triple H, by the way, it's also a smaller town, a truck stop right there as well. It's one of the, I would call it no name, but if I recall, it's It's one of the more well-known, like regular gas stations that not, that are not known to be truck stops, like like Shell or Chevron or something along that line. I forget. Who cares if I can't connect to that? That DEA 700 is my radio. I don't really care. Okay, now you have an idea where I'm at in relation to my washout place and to Kansas City. We're going to zoom in a little bit. We're going westbound on Highway 6 or southbound on Highway 5. They run concurrently right here where we're at now. But when we're going to have a split coming up here pretty soon. And let me zoom in a little bit more. You can see that split right over here, just a couple miles up. We're going to take the Highway 6 side of the split, and that'll take us right over to I-35. Then we're going to head south on 35 until we get to Cameron and get the washout there. I'm not going to have you with me the entire way there. I'll just give you kind of, I guess, a review of the experience here. See, I'm trying to fly out of here. Picked up a few hitchhikers in the truck when I was either getting in or out of the truck at some point in time. Maybe even when I was backing in, because like I said, whether you like it or not, windows down when backing. I always say that. I don't care if you don't like the weather, get them windows down. So I could have done without the flies. Some of you guys might have a problem with the smell too. I don't know, I'd say it's the worst smelling chicken place I've ever been to in the world, but it's definitely not the best. I'll at least put it that way. Took a little bit to start getting unloaded, I would say, but once they started unloading me within the hour, I would say I was done, and receiving person came out and told me that I was done and I could come meet her in the office to sign for her to get the bills. Receiver's name is Carrie. That's who I dealt with. A short blonde lady. Yeah, she was good. I guess she's only been working here a few weeks now. So my buddy Daniel runs. I told her that my buddy Daniel runs like dedicated lane basically between here and Elwood, Missouri, which is over by St. Joseph, or as they call it, St. Joe in the area. Yeah, he runs back and forth normally between here and Elwood, like a couple of times per day, but yeah, she hasn't been here long. She said he looked kind of familiar when I showed her his picture, but didn't recognize him totally, I guess, but I'm sure she will eventually once he's back to running his lane, because Daniel's been doing something else more recently, like just regular routes, I guess. Yeah, she asked me where I was from, and I go California, and because I told her that everything I ever pick up that comes in this direction is usually it always comes from the East Coast. All right, there's Highway 6 right here, and yeah, I told her I'm not in the East Coast a heck of a lot, because I usually run Southwest, so that's when she's asking me, well, where are you from? And I go, from California. It's like, pretty sure she's never been to California before, based on her response to that. Like, yeah, I bet it's like way different here. St. Joseph is 105 miles from here, by the way. It's be like half an hour-ish, something like that, from here to I-35. Can't remember the exact distance, but it's, yeah, I want to say it's about an hour. I want to say it's about an hour drive from, or 60 miles or something like that, between I-35 and I-29. Where St. Joseph is, off I-36. Alright, but, yeah, so I basically just said California. I didn't even say what part or anything. And then she asked if I had ever been to Vegas, and I'm like, oh, I used to live in Barstow, which is only a 2-hour drive from Vegas, and I used to go to Vegas a lot in my younger years. And, also, when I ran Walmart dedicated before coming to JCT, the Colton fleet there would deliver to the Sam's Club stores to Las Vegas. So it's usually the day cab drivers who handled that. I have done them before, but on the OTR, on the sleeper cab side, condo side, as they call it. Can't get these flies to be on the window when I can get the window down. But anyway, yeah, I used to run from, whenever I had loads going from Colton out to, let's say, Casa Grande, Arizona, or Tucson, or Las Cruces, to those Sam's Club stores. A lot of times, anywhere out in that neck of the woods, I would usually, it would always be on a weekend, too. Interesting. I would usually deadhead back from there to the Walmart DC in Casa Grande, drop my empty there, and then grab a reload, and those loads always went up to Las Vegas and delivered to usually 3 or 4 of the Walmart stores in Las Vegas. So yeah, I know Vegas pretty well. Yes, I think I got them out. That was like perfectly timed. Thank God. I know I had at least one more in here though. Yeah, then she asked me if I gambled much, like not really. I'm not, I hate slot machines. I don't touch slot machines for shit. I can't stand them. But I don't mind table games, but like I'm not I'd rather use my money on stock market stuff, or our futures actually, stock futures. That's what I'm more interested in. Yeah, that's a more sure bet that I'm going to win too. If as long as we don't have like black swan events or whatever. It's because the way I invest that, even on futures, I don't go too heavy on with what I have versus what I put into play, and because futures market is a lot more dangerous. You got to have margin available to work with, and the potential gain and potential loss on both sides are mathematically infinite. So that's why they only let so many. They don't just let any Tom, Dick, or Harry with stock brokerage account trade futures contracts. It's another story for another day, though. All right, so kind of sums up my review here, I would say. So y'all know how the experience was here. Docked in 11 a.m. or no, got there just after 11 a.m. Docked in pretty much right away. Did not leave till after 1400. So, but my appointment time was not really until 1600. So I don't know if I'm going to get any detention pay out of it. If I do, great. If I don't, I mean, technically I wasn't really supposed to be here till 1600. So I don't know. I still getting out of here a couple hours before my appointment time, so I'll call that a win regardless whether I get detention fee or not. Alright, you guys know where I'm heading to next as well, so we'll have another video for you guys coming up, hopefully the day after you see this one, picking up in Edwardsville, Kansas. Alright? Till then, I will see you all in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked that story about my wife too. I know she will. And alright, we'll see you guys on the next video, Edwardsville, Kansas. Thanks.